Hi guys, back after a bit of a hiatus. Been busy, been lazy, all in between. So I am ready now to go full-fledged on this project. Keep going. Taught myself how to sew this summer, so we're going to be doing some of that too. Today we are making a canary. Alright, I ended up making a hummingbird for a good friend of mine, and then my husband's boss ended up seeing it and has requested this for his wife. So, we can go over the abbreviations real quick that we'll be using. MR and MC, magic ring and magic circle. They are the same thing. There is two different ways to do both of these things. It's the same thing. Don't get confused by it. ST means stitch. SC means single crochet. INC means increase. DEC means decrease. And then R can mean around or row, doesn't matter. Today I'm going to use a 4.0 hook. Show you the yarn I'm using. Baby B. Adore a ball. That's not the color, okay? But it is this yellow. And then the secondary color is this off yellow orangish. So I wanted to show you, I crossed that stuff out because it's not the right color, but that lot number, if it were correct, you would be able to find this exact color in all different types of yarn, but that's what that means there. It's 100% polyester here, so it's considered a medium weight yarn. I don't know why this is here. I just wanted to show you guys. I don't know why it says 9mm. I don't even have a hook that big. I would strongly suggest you do not. I don't understand. Anyways, so let's start here. I like handwriting things just to make it my own. I am very, very crafty, and that's just the way I am, so let's drop that. Okay, let me get my 4.0. So I have, nope, that's 3.5. This is a 4.0 here. Usually they say on there. I don't know. Okay, there it is. However, I'm using one with a rubber handle. So, CC means color change. It's a disclaimer that I'm the one that just made that up because I don't like writing every scene, because this would be just way too long, way too much information. So I'm shortening it up for you by putting color change. So we're gonna do, starting with round 1, magic ring. We're gonna make 6 single crochets in that magic ring. And then row 2, it's an increase in each stitch, so that'll make it 12. Row 3 and 4 is the same thing. However, this is where you're gonna start your actual color change, because you'll do this, and then on the last stitch of the row 4, you'll be changing the color to this orange. So I have it color coded like that on purpose. I'm only going to make my videos up to 30 minutes, so wherever I end up at that point, I'm just going to stop the video. It's not easy to upload and edit when it's longer than that for me. So starting off, we're going to make our knot. We're going to start with a magic ring. In order to do that, if you're left-handed, you want your yarn on the right-hand side. Okay, so you're going to pull this, and then you're making like a D there. And I prefer to have a little bit longer tail so that I have more control over that end when I'm finished. So you flip it over like a page of a book, and then you're going to pull this and pull this. Now when you put this through, if this stayed the same when you pulled it, you did it right. If this end pulled, then you did backwards. So try again. Now, I always end up crocheting this into the magic ring by accident. So what I like to do is make it where it's very obviously not the right side to use. Okay, so, geez, I got, oh, that's coming out of the yarn. That's that stuff coming out. It's a fiber filling is what it is. Okay, so starting off, you're going to, you go from back to front to create your first little knot. This is where all of the stitches will go into to create your ring. I'm going to mark it with a green stitch marker. Until you pull that back. Now, especially this type of yarn, be gentle. Don't yank. Just use it very lightly. So just be nice. Now we're gonna make our very first stitch. So you go back to front here, and this is the only one that's gonna require that first step there. And then now you're gonna insert where that hole is with the green clip. Now you're gonna do your regular stitch like you do, crochet stitches from the back to the front, and you pull through the first. And I like to push these back so that I ensure it's pretty much the same size as the diameter of this. That was the whole point of me choosing the 4.0. And then you pull it through like that. Now, that is your first stitch of this round. See the V? What you're gonna do is you're going to click that now. And I like to use warm colors like pink, orange, red, something that I identify as a stop sign, because there are times I will use other clips in the same round, especially when they start to get really big. This is just less confusion for me. Anyway, that's just how I do it. The whole point of these tutorials is also to give you my 2 cents, some tips and tricks. Okay, so that's one. You got a handle on everything now. The rest of them will only go through this hole right here with the green. So just pull it through. That would be number 2. That will be number 3. This is where the tail starts coming up on you. You gotta make sure you're not accidentally sewing that in, because it's like right in the way now. Okay, so that should be 6. I'm gonna remove this green thing, and then we'll count to make sure that's 6. Let's see, my pink hook is missing. I'm going to blame that on my child. As it's thinner, I needed that one. I don't know. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So as you can see, I'm just counting those little V's that are there. And there is 6. Alright. So now we're doing an increase on each stitch, starting with the second row. So now this marked the first stitch of the first row. What we're going to go ahead and do is insert through that clip hole and do our first stitch. Now this is supposed to be an increase stitch, but that doesn't mean you finish the increase and then you put the clip. You put the clip on the first stitch. Do that so you don't forget, you don't mess up. Just do it right away. Now when you do an increase stitch, you have those two legs. If I'm shaking, it's because I had Cafe Bustelo. Right here and right here, you have these two little leg things. That leads back into that orange clip right there. And then this here, that's where you want to go, okay? The bottom of that leg into that same hole. And then that's your increase stitch. So you did 2 stitches in that first stitch down there. That's why it looks like that. So now we're going to go to the next stitch, and sometimes it can be confusing because again, those legs, that would be a 3rd stitch in the same hole. So you just got to make sure you're actually moving on to the next V, which is there. Again, that's that leg, so just make sure you're hitting up that next V. So you always go back to front, pull through, and I'm just, every time I do that, I pull to where these are even like this for the piece. I'm just trying to be very gentle. Now, stopping for a second. I'm really bad at getting up and doing something and then come back and I'm like, oh, where am I at? So you can count here, you can increase, and then I notice I have just 1, which means I would continue on with the second, or with the 3rd increase stitch by going into that leg there. So you can count the stitches if you forget where you're at, if you walk away. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's another thing I daydream and I have to keep going back to think. Us left-handed people are like that though. I'm sure you can relate. Okay, so that's our second round there. Now, we're just going to go ahead and do 3, 4. I don't think we're going to make it to 5. So, you're going to stitch all the way around twice. It's just on that last stitch on row 4, you change the color. So, this is just going to be real super quick. So, just make sure you go where that pin was in here. And you want to be very diligent crocheters, because you're taking your project very seriously. And you put that clip through, and then you continue. But remember that those little leg things do not go in that hole, because then you would increase it. It's only supposed to be 1 stitch in each. Just make sure you're always going into the right area, right stitch. Now, I'm not too tech savvy, well, as far as social media, YouTube stuff goes. So if I have weird things like this actually for me measures the camera times zoom. Each row represents a different zoom, if you're wondering what this is. because I kept going out of the shot, and I'm only using my phone because I don't know how to use anything else to do this. Now if you're real gentle and you're very consistent, it'll look nice when you're done. It'll actually start to fold in like that, like a little basket, but that's the back. So you want to go ahead and flip it, and I'm going to count the stitches, make sure there's 12. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now sometimes when I'm using velvet yarn, I actually will put this through and I'll pull them up just to make sure they're all the same size and that they look nicer. It's just the velvet yarn is complicated like that. You have to do that. So now we're moving on to round 4. Same exact thing, except the last stitch is where we do the color change. Put that clip in there. Still trying to curl in. Oh, another thing is I don't actually hold the yarn like most crocheters do. It might be a left-handed thing, I don't know. I don't have the motor skills to wrap it around my fingers the same way other people do. So if you want to learn how to hold the yarn, I will probably make a playlist of just informational stuff, including that. Okay, we're at 18 minutes. Doing good. Okay. Let's count so that we can make sure we are going to have a very successful project, because this is actually a gift for somebody, so it needs to look nice. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. My husband just texted me. I don't know if that shows up in the video.